Hello everybody, it's the 24th of May now, and this copper beech was grown in a large planter pot in the front garden, just thickening it up, growing it for girth, trying to create a trunk. I basically let it grow and chopped it back every couple of years, hence we've got some big scarring in back, and used it as a decorative plant in a large pot, as they say, on the gravel in the front garden. And then this year I decided I was going to pot it up and turn it into a bonsai as it got fat enough. If you look back at the video, which is linked in the end screen and in the description below for the playlist for this tree, you will see that when I did that, it had an awful lot of vine weevil, and they had decimated the roots this last winter, and so I had to cut away a lot more root than I wanted, and the tree had a lot less fibrous root than was desirable, and so I'm not going to do anything else with this tree this year. It's been repotted and it's in this nice little green bonsai pot, which I think goes well with the colour of the leaves at the moment, and all I'm going to do is water this tree, and I can feel it's already firmed up in the pot, which means it's putting some roots out, which is good news. But I just want it to grow fit, healthy, strong, replace the fibrous roots that it lost last winter, and then next winter, rather next spring, I can start to work on this some more. In particular, this branch, which I've just bent round the back of the tree, I want to try and graft onto this side of the trunk, where I have very little growth from here down, or no growth in fact, from here downwards. So I'll be doing that, but I won't do that this year because, as I said, I want the tree to grow, respond, and become healthy again. Let's give you one final 360 of the tree this playlist is about. The other trees, well, they will probably get featured here and there, but this playlist is about this copper beech. Okay, so here we have another specimen of beech that I've been growing in a largish flower pot for a number of years. It was again bought as bare root hedging, and I've grown it and chopped it and grown it and chopped it, and one of these days it might need to go into a nice bonsai pot, but probably not this, well, definitely not this year, and maybe not next. What I'm basically doing with it is the same as I've done years after years, is grow and chop and grow and chop, and in this case I'm just chopping back the new branching that's now elongating, stuff that's growing in the wrong direction, stuff that I don't want to keep, and I'm basically styling this tree more in the way of a wild tree than in a standard bonsai informal upright, although it's probably nearer to that style than any other. I'm going to remove some of these branches that are covering the trunk, because even though I'm going for a more naturalized style, I definitely want to see the trunk. It's coming out too far. Okay. congested at the top here, so we'll cut out some of that growth. Trying to bring it back into vague shape that I like. And as I've often said on my channel, my trees have to please my eyes. I don't show them in bonsai shows or anything. I do show them off here on YouTube, which is true, but in part that's to have a record, and somewhere where I won't lose the footage and pictures and things. But I also hope you guys enjoy them too. But at the end of the day, it's my eyes they have to please the most. So I welcome any and all comments, thoughts. I never mind anyone saying, "Oh, I don't like it." But if you're going to criticise my trees for not being traditional bonsai, then with respect, you're kind of missing the point. But anyway, there we have it. That's enough for this tree today, and it has some interest, I think. So here we have another copper beech. Again, I've been growing it in this large pot. This one has holes drilled in the side, so it in theory will act as a kind of air pot, and any roots start to go around the outside too close to those holes will die off, forcing the tree to produce more fibrous roots. That's the theory of it. Certainly weeds have been growing well in this tree. I've had this one sat by the edge of the pond. I have quite a number of trees just sit by the edge of my pond when they're in this sort of halfway, I guess you could call it, betwixt being a starter tree and a bonsai tree. They're not in a pot yet, they're not doing anything special enough to really sit on a bench, if that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I think this tree's got some interesting movement. It's got a bendy old trunk, big old branch which comes off the back. I think this is my perceived front. Again, it's got a long way to go, this tree. It was bought as a hedging plant, if I didn't already just say that, and I've already forgotten what I already said. So again, I'm just going to be cutting back some of these growths. I'm going to take out this middle section which is died back. And there's another bit of dieback just there, which kind of opens up the tree a little anyway, so that's quite nice. Cut that back, and there you have it. I'm going to remove this piece that's in this crook of this elbow, just to show that I can follow some bonsai rules sometimes. Not happy about that piece either, and all that branch that's growing seemingly straight up, so I'm going to put a little bit of wire on that. Quickly anchor it around the trunk, around that other branch, and then I'm going to wire this very loosely because I'm going to put it back by the pond where it'll get watered when I water all my other trees, but other than that I will kind of forget about it being there, which is what I tend to do, and just let them do their own thing, so I'm not constantly fiddling about, chopping bits off left, right and centre. Okay, so we've a whole bunch of growth growing from one spot, and that branch growing directly into another one there. So there we have it. In fact, I'll have that go back out a little more, making the tree a little less two-dimensional. And regular viewers will know I do have a lot of trees which take up a lot of space, and they sometimes get squashed together a bit too much, and the result is a two-dimensional tree if you don't sort it out. Go on, sort it out, as they do say. A quick 360 of this one. As I say, it'll go back. I wired that branch so loosely that it just popped off. Pop that back on again, a little bit tighter. I could write down so that I would remember that I've done these bits of work, but you know what happens is I then forget to look at what I've written down if I'm not careful. Thank you so much for watching, it really is appreciated. Do all the usual YouTube things, the liking, the subscribing, the commenting. Let me know what you think. How well do you think this tree is going to survive? And, but most of all, look after yourselves everybody. Stay safe.